Yeah, absolutely. That would violate my oath.
Yeah, he's done that. I can show you on the screen right now him tweeting on True Social that there should be a termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, because he didn't like the election results in 2020.
Support him because he's my president, first and foremost, and I support any member, either party that's in office as far as that goes. I mean, I'm a former soldier, so it's just second nature to me to support the president, regardless of what party they come from. But as far as Trump, I didn't know it was going. I didn't pay enough attention to know it was going to end up where it is now.
So you don't support Trump at this current point?
I would still vote for him over Harris, strictly along policy, like
Okay, why?
along the lines, the party lines.
Why?
I believe more. I lean a little bit heavier towards the Republican Party than I do the Democratic Party.
Why?
Unfortunately, I'm not as educated as you are on the topics. I've been watching, and surprisingly, for the past week, I've been following your stuff, and you're starting to make points that are a little bit disturbing on my end. I figured I would be a little bit more versed at my age in this, but I would still, and I can't answer the why, other than the belief systems that they're showing in the public eye. But what they're showing everybody in the public eye on both parties seems to be different than what they do once they get in office. So it's bothering me from both parties. But I believe we need strong borders, but not Gestapo style borders. We need the borders. Everybody does. So that was a big voting point for me. And I did see some funny stuff that was going on during not this previous election, but the one prior. My wife she and we lived in a few different states, and one of the states actually cast an absentee ballot, and she didn't put it in there. We voted in person in North Carolina, but Georgia gave her an absentee ballot when we looked it up. So stuff like that, which could have just been an actual mistake. I don't know. I'm not that versed in it. But when we saw that, and then we see everything on the news. No, they're completely opposite.
So
Completely
she voted
opposite.
Democrat whenever she voted Republican.
Yes, she voted Democratic in Georgia on her absentee ballot and voted in person for Republican.
Okay, so maybe you're looking at someone else's voter registration.
Don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I do, but it was her name, her birthday. I mean, everything matched, but.
Okay.
So
I
it
mean,
could just be a clerical error as well. They could have put it in.
yeah, I
don't
would
know
have
how
to
the system works.
explicitly look at that scenario. Now, if you want to look at overall the elections, none of the elections indicated voter fraud to overturn the election. We have very, very secure elections. So if there's an individual circumstance where there's something wrong, that's not reflective of like an entire system being wrong. And plus, that was in the 2024 election, right?
No, the one prior to that,
That was in the 2020?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't even in the one that was in question.
And you're in what state?
The one right now, Texas. But no, this was North Carolina and Georgia were the two.
North Carolina and Georgia.
Yeah, North Carolina is where she actually voted, and Georgia is where they put in the absentee ballot.
Oh, then it was someone else.
Okay. Like, I don't know.
You were looking up
the
the information of someone else. There must be some other person that has the same name as your partner in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Because those are different states. Those are different people, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, it just seemed odd that came up. And so that got me to thinking, because I've always been middle of the road. I vote for the best candidate. I don't care what party. But here over the past 8 years, it's been strictly party lines that everybody's voting on. So I stand behind the Republican Party because I am Christian. I do, and I'm not saying there's no Democrat that's a Christian. I'm just saying, for me, the belief systems are more along my lines.
Yeah, I understand. Can I respond to some of these points? So with the strong borders
Yes,
point,
please.
you said you don't want to go too far with the borders, but you still believe in enforcing borders. That's still the Democratic position. Democrats still want to criminalize undocumented entry. They just want to make the legal process go quicker. And then also, like, Democrats are Christian. I would say they actually represent Christian values to a greater extent. What Christian values do you think Trump is upholding to a greater extent?
It's just the outwardness of it, the bringing it back into the public eye, where there's like when I was in school, I'm old as dirt. I fart fossils, so I had it in school. We had prayer in school, but I don't believe we should force prayer because but we should at least allow it to be there. I don't like that they're removing it and not allowing people that are trying to
They're not
voice
preventing
their
people from
opinions.
engaging in prayer.
Oh, in
Like if
Pennsylvania,
if
you
a
could.
student wants to do prayer, they can do that.
Oh, see, no, my daughter was told she cannot. That she would get suspended from school, and that was in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
To pray in school?
She wasn't allowed to openly pray. She'd have to go somewhere in private and pray. But
Was she
yet they had other
so
folks, making salat and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I just don't believe you.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I don't force anybody to try to believe my lines. I mean, what's going on in my life? I mean, my life is not your life. But yeah, that happened. But that's also a really bad school district. You look up the
Is it like
Scranton,
a
PA school
performance,
district.
or is it specifically like in a situation where they're just like praying?
It's when okay, so if she's by herself and somewhere praying, they wouldn't bother her.
Oh,
But if
okay.
she and a couple of friends want to get together and do a prayer, like at the games, she wasn't allowed to do it. In her theater class, she wasn't allowed to do it. She
So
said
like they went to a
and
game, they couldn't go and specifically like pray together in a group.
in a group, they didn't want groups amassing. I guess that was more the issue.
So if there's
But
4 people
it was
together,
for
they
prayer.
wouldn't let them pray.
No,
Okay.
nope. She could do it by herself, but she was not allowed to do it in a group.
Okay. Okay. So then that's not. I mean, I think that's a bit like ridiculous, but like, what's the point here?
For me, that seems to be, and it's the way that city leans is very democratic. So for me, it was giving me the optics of such things being a political belief, and it's just the beliefs that they were doing. That was
I'm
outward.
confused. I just like, what is this supposed to be a criticism of the Democrats, or what was the point of this?
Yes, yeah, it is.
How?
And I don't. It's a democratically ran, school board.
Okay,
It's
that
all
doesn't mean that's a
Democrats,
criticism of all
and
Democrats. Like, I'm sorry. Can
well,
I
they were the
point
ones
to
that posted the policy.
can I point to specific Republican schools as descriptive of all Republicans as a whole?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, you really couldn't.
So
Yeah,
then why
that's
can't we
true.
do that with Democrats?
Yeah, it's purely optics for me. Like I said, I I just think that the Republican Party has more of what I believe in. I believe in my right to my firearms and stuff like that. I don't
Democrats don't
believe
disagree with
that.
the Second Amendment. If you care about the Constitution, Trump has tried to undermine it. Like, for example,
Yeah,
if Donald Trump specifically has called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, would that in of itself be enough reason to stop supporting?
yeah, absolutely. That would violate my oath.
Yeah, he's done that. I can show you on the screen right now him tweeting on True Social that there should be a termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, because he didn't like the election results in 2020.
Then I can't back him. That goes against the oath that I took when I served my country.
Oh, okay. You know what? You're totally right with that. I honestly just didn't expect you to have that, response. Here, I'll show you on screen just so that I can prove it to you, because I want you to see I'm obviously telling the truth. Let me throw it on the screen here real quick for you. Do you see it on the screen?
Yes.
Here, let me make it so you can see it better. So I'll read it for you. So with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democrat Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections.
Okay. So when I read that, that's not what I got. It wasn't him saying it. It was posed as a question with improper punctuation. A massive fraud of that type allows for the termination. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah,
So that's
the
giving him
massive fraud of this
credence
type
to
and
the
magnitude that he
termination.
believes exists would then mean that they can terminate the Constitution.
No, that's not right. That's incorrect. They should. I've never seen this.
Yeah, that was what he said in 2022. So after it's already been adjudicated in the court process and through audits that he lost the election.
Yeah. See, that's what makes it hard for me because I'm from up where he's from, and a lot of people like that. The way they speak in that general area is boisterous and loud for no reason, with oftentimes missing the point. Like most of my family, talking to them, I've been been frustrated with that because they're saying one thing and doing another, and it seems to be like an area thing as well. Like that type of people from that age group in that area are very over opinionated, like, you know. But it was the thing I don't understand is why we can't still support. Maybe it's just the wording. Support our president. You know, why can't we support all the presidents that are in there? And when there's something wrong, there's got to be laws that are out there. I'm not well versed in them that we can point to those wrongs and bring up some type of charges and stuff against them, or like, you know, like Watergate didn't go over well for them, you know.
You want to know something interesting that JD Vance said recently? He brought up the fact that if Watergate happened right now, it'd be like a typical Tuesday.
I got to start watching more.
And that he can't understand how Watergate took down the presidency because it would be a typical Tuesday.
And
right?
That's the full context of it, like
yeah, that was what he said.
So there was nothing else. Like it wasn't satire. It was
no. He's being serious. I promise you, it's not a satire statement. He's being serious, to my understanding, of course. Now, again, the thing that I brought, I think you're already at a point where you said you wouldn't support Trump because, considering that he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, that's like the line. That's too far.
Yeah, you can't do it. That's too far. Yeah, you can't do that.
And I think that we agree
Harris,
here.
I can't support because I just don't agree with the majority of her standings. But if it came between her and someone that's violating the Constitution, I'm going to vote for her because at least she's upholding the Constitution.
You know what? I really respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
Well,
because we're not. Everybody thinks we're a democracy, and we're not. We're a constitutional republic.
Here's where we're going to have a little bit of disagreement. We're a constitutional republic and a representative democracy. So I think that those are compatible.
Okay.
We're not a direct democracy, but we are a representative democracy.
I'm uneducated on that, so I don't know. But
so we vote for representatives that then are going to then decide what the legislation is for us or what laws are passed or whatnot.
Okay.
Right. So that we have representative democracy, but that's also within the confines of a constitutional republic because we have a constitution that orders how that representative democracy functions.
Okay. Like, I appreciate you taking the time for me. I know this is off kilter from what you're looking for in your life, but I really felt the need to come in here and be educated enough. In 2 years, I'm making the right choices, and I'm teaching my grandchildren the proper things.
Yeah, you're totally right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.